Okay, so we are just going to go ahead and continue right where we left off. So now what we need to do is we need to select these outer edges and we need to give them a bevel. And hopefully, because we tested it on this one, having edges very close like that will not yet matter. So it will not like break our geometry. So for this one, I'm going to go for... yeah, that looks good. So, or do we want maybe 3 segments? No, I think 2 segments is fine because of course we have a high poly. So let's do 2 segments and set this to 0.02. There we go. So just double check. Ooh, those edges are causing problems. Yeah, they are causing problems, which means that we just need to do some cleanup. Let's start by doing an Alt X and selecting these. Yeah, these are 2 vertices. So let's just press Q and merge them at center. And I'm actually gonna do a target well toggle, so just turn it on. And for like these, some of these pieces, I'm just going to merge them if they're very close. And target well toggle, cool thing about that is that you can just wiggle it around, and that will almost do the same as merge at center as selecting them. Because of course, when you wiggle them around using your pivot, you technically are moving them, so they start snapping. But I just need to make sure that on all of these, so here it's another one where we might be better off just to merge these 2. And here, see, you can see me just wiggling it around. So merge these 2 into 2. Yeah, like over here. Oops. Just make sure that you do snap them to the right vertex. I've went wrong with that before, where I accidentally snapped it to a vertex behind it, and then it's just a mess to clean it up. Or stuff like that, where you try to select one, but it still thinks that you're snapping, so it tries to snap something. There we go. So now we just make sure that these edges are clean. Oh, these ones we have already done. Huh? Oh yeah, okay. I know, because we flipped it over. Fair enough. So that one did not cause a problem. It was mostly the other one. But I still need to clean all the other ones up. It's better to just clean them up and avoid any problems than taking a gamble. There we go. And we have enough space over there. So I think that's it. So turn off target well toggle. Let's try that again. You can just go ahead and select all the way around. Ctrl B, 0.2 and 0.02. See? And now it's a nice clean edge. So now it's just a matter for us to double click and select all of these. Yeah, it might not be the most fun job to just select stuff, but once we've done this, should be fine. And then we still need to decide if we are going to actually... Oh, we've already done that one. 0.02. So then we need to decide if we want to create like a bevel in between here, or if we say, nah, it's not needed. I think after we've done this bevel, it might not actually be needed. Then our version will be looking a little bit sharper, but seeing that this is like little legs, you will not really be able to see it. So well, you will be able to see it, but it will be so difficult to see from a distance with all the stuff that's laying on top of it, that I don't know if it's worth for us spending the geometry or even the time to add those bevels. So that's something that we'll think about. So we got all of these. Ctrl B. 0.02 with 2 segments. There we go. Yeah, see, I'm just gonna make those smooth inside of our high poly. I think that should be fine. So I might decide to actually make a bevel on the outside, because that one is definitely visible. And then of course also over here on like the inside, it's just going to be like a single bevel, and it's just to accommodate with the smoothing of our high poly a little bit more. But then we will just leave this bevel also in the low poly, just to make it look extra nice and soft. So once you have it all selected, use your bevel tool and then just give it like a small bevel like this, like 0.01. So really small. And then as expected, it will have gotten some geometry messed up over here. These vertices, they are just overlapping. So you just want to, for now, we are going to clean those up later on after we've done the high poly. Or most probably even in our high poly, we will also clean up. But for now, if you have these faces, you just need to move your vertices back a little bit. Although it's worse than I expected, to be honest. Didn't expect it to put up such a hissy fit like this. Probably because we didn't connect those vertices correctly. Because all the beveling, as you can see, all the beveling, it just tends to break geometry. So then you always need to do like some cleanup. But because we have a lot of pieces, I don't want to do the cleanup just yet. I want to, because it's very time consuming. So I just want to try and avoid that until we need to do as little as possible. Come on, select this one. There we go. Okay, cool. I think that is it. I think this one is done. Geometry looks like hell, but for a low poly at least. But I think this is a very good start. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and press Alt-U. And here we have our box over here. We can actually, by this point, we can just use it. So I'm going to go to Face Select. And I'm actually going to go ahead and just simply use this box as our base over here. And it looks like it's just a square with some bevels, and then it has like some construction lines in the center. So this one is very easy. So just move it just behind those little pieces that we have over here. And I think that should do the trick already. So let's move this one. There we go. And let's move this one. There we go. And let's go ahead and push it down. And now this face that I have selected, I'm just going to press delete on it because you cannot actually see it. This face up here, we can also not see, so I'm going to press delete. Pressing delete just makes it easier for me when I start adding the bevels and everything. So this face, let's press Q and reset the transforms. Just double check. Yeah, see here, it's literally super basic. If there are any extra details, we can just add them inside of Painter. So I would say that all we need to do is select these four corners, press Ctrl B, and I'm going to just add one extra segment in between there. Just make them a little bit round. There we go. And now I'm just going to go ahead and select these sides. Let's do Alt X, make sure that everything is selected. And oh no, you know what? I don't need to do that. Oops, wrong button. Actually, what I just need to do is place one Ctrl R line here and one line there. And now just select these two lines and let's start by pressing Ctrl B. And just add make the line slightly bigger than you want. Because then what you can do is you can select these two or these four lines. Press Ctrl B again. And now you can make the center line the thickness that you want. And then it's just a matter of selecting your face and moving it back a little bit like this to create like a quick construction line. And I will show you if you're not happy with the size. So for example, I think this one is like a little bit big. I can just hold Alt X, select these and just scale them in. And if you feel like your bevels are too squashed, what you can do is you can then simply select these faces, click, hold Shift, and then do a bit more precise scaling, and then scale those in. There you go. Looks very basic, but once we have like a little bit of a profile on this, it will look a bit more interesting. So we got those pieces done. Now I think this is a good point for us to just save our scene, and in the next chapter we will continue with this piece. And for this piece, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to create a square to already give you an introduction of how we are going to do the other crate. But since this is quite a few more details, it's easier for me to just turn it into a square and just call it a day. So yeah, here they are slightly different, the ones that they have. I quite like this, where we have like a little profile around it. However, this one is a little bit more simplistic, and seeing that we have stuff on top of it, we might actually go for something like this. Just because this one might be a bit too over the top. But yeah, it has like some interesting stuff in here, so we will go ahead and create it. So let's start by just creating a quick square like that.